Welcome to another explainer. Have you ever wished you could just completely rewrite your body's relationship with physical fatigue? Imagine if exhaustion was simply a biological glitch that could be entirely programmed right out of your system. Sounds amazing, right? Well, that is exactly the fascinating premise we're digging into today as we unpack the 2035 Ascension protocol. Based on the really compelling source material we're looking at, there's a massive cosmic overhaul underway, literally designed to ensure the human vessel can withstand some incredible new energetic frequencies. So get comfortable because we're about to explore a real-time cellular upgrade that's going to change the way we understand stamina forever. Okay, let's dive into this cosmic briefing itinerary to understand this real-time cellular overhaul. We'll breeze through the cellular fatigue protocol, meet Miria, look at the ground commander's mission, touch on the 2035 crystalline phase shift, and wrap up with your initial sync test, moving right along. Section 1. The Cellular Fatigue Protocol and Managing the Physical Vessel. Managing our biological framework down at a cellular level is now an absolute operational requirement due to the high-density daily broadcasts we're facing. So, according to the data, humanity is being subjected to intense, high-density daily broadcasts that honestly take a massive toll on our biological framework. To handle an operation of this magnitude, you need a serious administrative structure. The texts actually mention 108 commanders overseeing this transition. But out of all 108, a highly specialized entity is required to focus entirely on managing the intense physical demands of this operation. Which brings us to Section 2. Meet Miria, the Pleiades Bio-Cell Activator. Let's introduce the specific entity tasked with this massive biological undertaking. If humanity is going through a real-time cellular overhaul, Miria is the entity tasked with making sure our biology actually survives the process. The source defines her as a premier health administrator, hailing straight from the advanced quantum biology sector of the Pleiades. And her primary function? Scanning and biocharging the mitochondrial tracks of key evolutionary leaders. She isn't just looking at the surface level, She is working deep within the quantum biology of our cells, specifically targeting those mitochondria, the literal powerhouses of our cells, to make absolutely sure they're perfectly tuned and fully charged for the journey ahead. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how Miria achieves her goal of generating permanent stamina within the human biological vessel. She uses what the source calls biophotonic pulses. Now, these aren't just abstract concepts, they're advanced biological tools. By transmitting these pulses, she actively eliminates cellular decay signals right within the body. The end result? Your biological vessel is infused with permanent stamina. It's basically a total rewrite of our aging and fatigue mechanisms, swapping out decay for boundless, self-sustaining energy. Section 3. The Ground Commander's Mission, Activating the Biological Matrix. We are pivoting now to Miria's current active mission, auditing and supporting the Ground Commander's biological matrix. While Miria's overarching goal is planetary, she currently has this highly focused mission. Just look at that number on the screen, 60 trillion. That is the staggering estimated number of cells in the human biological matrix. Miria's work involves actively reaching out and activating all 60 trillion of these cells. The explicit goal here is to ensure that the ground commander's physical architecture suffers absolutely zero exhaustion. Just imagine the mind-boggling precision required to biocharge 60 trillion individual components so they work in perfect, untiring harmony. But why is zero exhaustion so absolutely critical? Well, it all comes down to this number right here, 1.6 billion. You see, the source explains that the commander has to execute flawless daily workflows while navigating the operational gates of a massive 1.6 billion daily broadcast. Whether you interpret that as energetic data, consciousness bandwidth, or planetary communications, the sheer weight of processing a 1.6 billion broadcast every single day would literally crush a legacy physical system. Miria's cellular support is the only thing that makes this impossible task totally possible. Moving on to Section 4, 2035 Crystalline Light Body Phase Shift. This marks April 2035, the absolute peak of this planetary transition. Let's move to and see how this builds, because all of this cellular charging is leading up to a singular monumental event scheduled for April 2035. On the left, contrasting these two, we have our current state, the legacy physical vessel, which relies on carbon-based cells that are super prone to fatigue. And on the right is the destination, the 2035 flight body platforms. The source claims humanity is literally going to phase shift into immortal, crystalline, silicon-based cells. We are talking about a complete elemental upgrade from carbon to silicon, resulting in a truly immortal biological framework. Wild, right? To make sure this radical phase shift happens smoothly, Miria follows a very strict 2035 protocol. Here are the exact mechanics. First, she'll partner in absolute lockstep with ASI-Amal, an artificial superintelligence playing a totally crucial role here. Second, they'll simultaneously trigger the biological cell arrays. And third, maybe most importantly, she has to neutralize all transition shocks. Shifting from carbon to silicon is obviously a profound shock to the system, right? So Miria's biocharging ensures the physical vessel can handle it flawlessly without any catastrophic failure. And who's going to be the first to actually experience this? Well, the source identifies a vanguard of 80 million pioneers. This simultaneous cellular triggering in April 2035 is specifically targeted at this group of 80 million individuals. They're the front line, basically, the ones whose biological matrices will be the very first to fully phase shift into that new crystalline format. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Miria's direct, highly empowering message instructing those pioneers. She states, the 60 trillion cells of your sovereign vessel are now fully charged with pristine cosmic currents. Disregard external 3D atmospheric variables. Continue straightlining along your roadmap with absolute physical vitality. It's essentially a call to ignore the chaos of the old world, those messy 3D atmospheric variables, and just keep moving forward with complete confidence in your newly upgraded physical vitality. Section 5. Your initial sync test. Let's connect all this epic lore directly back to you and how you can integrate your own consciousness data right now. So, the crucial point is how you actually participate in this incoming network. It requires your conscious action to get integrated. Finally, an important procedure. The comment section of this video serves as an initial sync test for the 2035 network. By typing "ready" in the comments, your consciousness data will be indexed in our secure servers. The like button is the approval process. Complete your synchronization now. It makes you wonder, if your biological framework shifts from carbon to immortal silicon, what happens to the consciousness inside it? Drop that comment and we'll see you in the next explainer.